Hello students, this side Ishita, your SST educator on Study Room. So today we are going to study class 8, chapter number 3, Minerals and Power Resources from your textbook Geography. So in this chapter we will learn about how we obtain minerals, what are its kind, what are its type, what are the power resources, and in the subdivision we also study conventional and non-conventional resources. So this chapter is whole a lot of about minerals. So let's get started. So the first question arises here, which is, what is minerals? So minerals is something that rocks on this earth have several materials like minerals mixed in them. These minerals are scattered throughout the earth's crust. They are created by natural processes without any human interference. A natural occurring substance that has a definite chemical composition is considered as minerals. So let's take an example. Do you know, in a bakery, the chef bakes a cookie? It's normal, right? In that cookie, the chef used different kind of ingredients in different compositions, and ultimately the byproduct which is formed by the chef is cookie. So the ingredients are just like that, and the cookie is the mineral. The ingredients are the product which is inside the minerals in the definite compositions. That's what make a mineral. Okay, and they found in the different geological environment. They have different environment and they live in different environment and different structures. So let's continue. Minerals are not evenly distributed, as we all know, due to the environmental factor. Throughout the earth there is different environment and different seasons, and that's why minerals are not evenly distributed. They are concentrated in a particular area or rock formation. Between the rocks there are cracks, and in those cracks mineral forms. Okay, some minerals are found in area which are not easily accessible, like Arctic Ocean and Antarctica. They are the extreme area of earth. They have extreme temperature which is not suitable for the humans. That's why these area are not accessible. Minerals are formed in different type of geological environment under various conditions. They are created by the natural process without any human interference. That's right. And their identification is physical properties such as color, density, hardness, and chemical property such as solubility, which makes them important for us and for the usage. So let's move ahead. There is a fact here we will study, which is salt in our food and graphite in your pencil is also a mineral. Yes, they both have different compositions. Salt is NaCl and graphite is a non-metal. And they both has a significant role in our life. That's why they are minerals. Now we will study the classification of minerals. There are over 3,000 different minerals. There is 3,000 minerals over there. On the basis of composition, minerals are classified mainly as metallic and non-metallic. So in the upcoming slides, we will furtherly talk about metallic and non-metallic and their subdivisions. So let's discuss this flow chart. This flow chart will make the study easy and you can memorize it also. So first is mineral. Mineral is classified into metallic and non-metallic. So what is metallic? Metallic is something which has metal in its raw form. Okay, and the metallic is subdivided by ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous is something which has iron in it, like iron ore and chromite and manganese. They are the type which has iron in them. And non-ferrous are those which do not has iron in them, just like gold and silver. Okay. Now we will talk about another subdivision which is non-metallic. Non-metallic just simply do not have metal in them. For example, coal, petroleum, limestones. Okay. So let's move ahead. There is a do you know again. Let's talk about it. A rock is an aggregate of one or more mineral but without definite composition of constituent of minerals. Rocks from which mineral are mined known as ores. The mining of minerals is known as ore. Although over than 2,800 types of mineral have been identified, only about 100 are considered ores. It's not about identifying the minerals, it's about getting the mineral and their ore. The ore is the process by which we mine the minerals. So let's move ahead. We will talk about metallic minerals. Metallic mineral contain metal as their raw form, just like we talked about in early slides. Metals are hard substance and they conduct electricity and have a characteristic lustrous and shiny. Lustrous and shiny is a character of metal which not all metal shows, but most of the metals show. They are hard in shape, and their example will be iron ore, vertex, magnesium, manganese, and some other example. And now we will talk about the subtopic which is ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous. Ferrous minerals like iron ore, manganese and chromate, they contain iron. So these are the example of ferrous minerals. Non-ferrous minerals does not contain iron. They do not contain iron, such as gold, silver, copper. Now we will talk about non-metallic minerals. Non-metallic minerals do not contain metals, as simple as the topic. For example, limestone, mica, gypsum, coal and petroleum, and there are a lot of examples. Okay. The mineral fuels like coal and petroleum are also considered to be non-metallic. Okay. Now we will talk about the extraction of metal. How do we extract metal? Extraction is a process by which we use different kind of properties and principle to obtain the metal in the raw form. Okay. So let's talk about first is our mining. The process of taking out minerals from rocks buried under the earth's surface is called mining. Mining is the simplest process which is used to extract the minerals ore. Just like you can see in this picture. Second is open cast mining. Minerals that lie at shallow depth are taken out by removing the surface layer. This is known as open cast mining. Open cast mining is that we remove the upper layer because of the depth, and this is the picture. You can see that this was basically the upper layer, but this is the ultimate depth. So that's why the upper layer is removed and the road structure is formed so that the transportation gets easy, and this is known as open cast mining. Shaft mining. Deep bores called shaft have to be made to reach mineral deposits that lie at great depth. The great depth is Earth is a huge planet, and due to its depth, the depth make the minerals more expensive and more costable, because the input cost is high, because we have to reach this kind of depth to have the appropriate mineral, and this kind of depth can only be attained by the shaft mining method. Fourth one is drilling. Deep wells are bored to take out certain minerals through the process of drilling. Petroleum and natural gas is far below the earth's surface and they can be extracted by drilling. Drilling is the process in which we or the company forms a well-like structure, and in that well, deep down, petroleum and natural gases get extracted. So this is the drilling process. In this video, you will see the extraction of the minerals. There is another fact, which is you can always tell if a rock contains copper. How? Because these rocks look blue in color. So we get the idea that copper represents blue color. Okay, so anything have blue? No, only stones which is in blue color have copper. Okay. Now we will talk about the distribution of minerals. First is occurrence, how they occur. Metallic minerals are found in igneous and metamorphic rock formation that forms large plateaus. Igneous and metamorphic are the types of rock. These are the types of rock. Okay, and the minerals are buried inside the crack of these type of rocks. For example, iron ore in North Sweden, copper nickel in the Ontario, Canada, and iron and nickel chromate platinum in the South Africa. These kind of minerals are popularly found in that kind of area because of the composition of the stones. Sedimentary rock forms of formation of plains of young fold mountain contain non-metallic minerals. So they are saying that sedimentary rock have a property that it contains only the non-metallic minerals like limestone decomposition in France, manganese, and another things. So they are saying limestone is mainly found in France, and manganese decomposition is mainly found in Georgia, Ukraine, and Algeria. So here we studied that sedimentary rock is a kind of rock in which it contains non-metallic minerals. Mineral fuels such as coal and petroleum are also found in the sedimentary strata, which is sedimentary rock have the ability to form non-metallic minerals. Now we will talk about Asia. China and India have large iron ore deposits. Asia produces more than half of the world's tin. Tin is the metal which is highly in demand and which is found in India and China. Asia also has deposits of manganese, bauxite, nickel, zinc, and copper. That's why Asia is a gemstone of the world. It contains lot of minerals. China, Malaysia, and Indonesia are among the world's leading producers of tin. China also led in the production of lead, antimony, and tungsten. Antimony and tungsten are the alloys which we will study in the science chapter, but China is the majorly producers of these kind of materials. So Asia have a biggest support of China. Now we will talk about Europe. Europe is another continent in the earth, and Europe is the world's leading producer of iron ore. In Russia, Ukraine, Sweden, France have large deposits of iron ore. They have large deposits of iron ore, which makes them unique. Copper, lead, zinc, manganese, and nickel are found in the Eastern Europe and the European Russia. North America. Minerals are found across 3 zones or region. The Canadian region, north of the Great Lakes. In Canadian region, iron ore, nickel, gold, uranium, and copper is majorly found. And the Appalachian region, here the coal found. And in the mountain region, where copper, zinc, lead, gold, and silver is majorly found. So the North America is mainly divided into three regions, and these three regions contain different kind of minerals. South America. Brazil is the largest producer of high grade of iron ore, and Brazil, Bolivia are among the world's largest producers of tin. So after Asia, they are also considered to be the largest producers of tin. Chile and Peru, leading producers of copper, and South America also have the large decompositions of gold, silver, zinc, chromium, magnesium, bauxite, mica, platinum, asbestos, and diamonds. Mineral oil, they also contain mineral oil in the Chile. So South America is a treasure. Africa. Africa is the world's largest producers of diamond, gold, and platinum because of its extreme temperature. It has warmth, it has rainfall, and that kind of temperature and that kind of habitat is best for the productions of diamond, gold, and platinum. South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zaire produce a large portion of world's gold. Oil is found in Nigeria, Liberia, and Angola. And other minerals are found in Africa as copper, iron ore, chromium, uranium, cobalt, and bauxite. So we get to know that Africa is a whole a lot of treasure. In the whole earth is a treasure for us, and earth contains this kind of minerals, and these kind of mineral is a present for us because they are made without human interference, and it's only about the earth structure and its gifts. So they are the gift for us. Australia is the largest producer of bauxite in the world. It is leading producer of gold, diamond, iron ore, tin, and nickel. Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie area of Western Australia have the largest decompositions of the gold. So it is a whole lot of gold. It is also rich in copper, zinc, and lead, zinc, and manganese. Move ahead. Antarctica. We have to talk about this island because this continent is a treasure for us. We haven't discovered anything. We did, but not much information is there about because of its extreme climatic condition. And that's what make Antarctica a unique thing about Earth. Antarctica is forecast to have a significant size of composition of coal and iron near the Prince Charles Mountain of East Antarctica. Iron ore, gold, silver, and oil are also present in the commercial quantity there, but they are not extractable yet. Let's hope for the future generation to extract something from there. Do you know a diamond is the rarest, a green diamond is the rarest diamond. So diamond also have different kind of colors, and the green one is the rarest. Now we will talk about the uses of minerals. Gems are usually hard. Gemstones are usually hard. They are used for the style of jewelry. Okay. Copper used in coin, pipes, wiring, and utensils because they are kind of flexibly to use. Silicon obtained from quartz used in the computer system. Because of the property of silicon, it is used in computer and technological system. Aluminum obtained from bauxite used in the automobiles, airplanes, bottling industry, building in the cookware. Aluminum has the major role because it is used in so many products. Now we will talk about conservation of minerals. We are using unlimited minerals that is provided by Earth, but they are in limited source, right? We have to discover a lot, but we have to conserve them because they are the gift, but we cannot vanish the gift, right? So minerals are non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are those resources which cannot be renewed. Their rate of formation is much smaller than the rate at which they consume these minerals. We consume a lot of minerals than the formation of the minerals. It is necessary to reduce the wastage of in the process of mining. Cycling of metals is another way we can conserve the minerals. If we recycle the metals just like we recycle other stuff, we can conserve the minerals. Power source. Power plays a vital role in our lives. As we all know, electricity is the power, light energy is the power. It plays a significant role in our lives. Power is a main source that support industry, agriculture, transport, communication and defense, and a lot more other things. Power resources are broadly categorized as conventional and non-conventional resources. So in the upcoming slide, we will majorly talk about conventional and non-conventional sources. Thank you.